Whoa.
And then we have the Koppenberg. And the Koppenberg, one of the famous climbs, is only 4K outside the city of Oudenaarde. So I went there 3 or 4 times, and this is back in the old days. The climb is just incredible, and it's so cool to go there. And, you know, you go there, and as a rider, there's nobody there. It's farm country, and you ride it, and then you just sort of imagine 10,000 spectators crowding both sides of the road. So this is a famous thing that happened on the Koppenberg back in the 90s. This guy, Jesper Skibby, tipped over and fell because it's so steep. You lose your momentum. You literally tip over if you're in your toe straps. And his bike got run over by this team car. And this was like his famous Graham Watson photo. And it basically made everyone wonder if these kinds of roads were appropriate for racing. And this is what the Koppenberg looked like back then. And obviously the steepness, the photo doesn't do it justice. It's way steeper than it looks. So they went ahead and they redid it. And this is a photo of them redoing it about 10 years ago. And they made it a lot smoother.
Dude, where'd you get those photos?
These are from Graham Watson's website. But still, this was me riding it. And so it is gnarly. And I couldn't ride it. I had to walk both times that I went there, even on a cross bike. It was too steep to get traction.
What was your lowest gear?
And I had a 27, 42, 27. And it's just steep. And if you watch the race today, half the field at least walks or runs. Only the leaders get through without having to walk. This is, I forget what they call this kind of beer. It's, well, this is a triple, I guess. This is the, you know, there's only 7 abbeys in Belgium that make the Abbey beer. And they're ones like Chimay and Westmalle. And this is one of the smaller ones that make the special Abbey. So then it was on, the next weekend came around and it was on to the races again. And Saturday is the Grand Prix de Stur St. Nicolaas, a very famous, long-time running race. And again, it's not part of the big series. That was a drive. This one's over by Antwerp, about an hour drive. All the races provide indoor facilities for changing your clothing. This is what the indoor locker room looks like at a race. All the riders use them. They don't change in their car. They don't drive to the race in their racing kit. They go to the changing room, and you can see what they're all doing. Is putting on the ember.
You get to see all of their competition naked.
They're
awesome.
they're rubbing the embrocation on their legs.
Oh. Keep them warm.
And the room smells like a peppermint factory. Literally. It's pretty crazy. This race is around a lake, and they have this just great off-camber grass stuff, and these steep hills. And this was a UCI race with a Masters category, which was great, because the pros were going to race the same day as the Masters, which is sort of the best of both worlds for a rider. So you see it's a lot more groomed and wide and well-marked than the local races. So it's like a UCI race here. The crazy thing there is the way they mark the courses.
Where is this, dude?
This is St. Nicolaas. And they use these big, big wooden posts. And the whole course is marked with these things, both sides. And there's none of that flimsy, bendy little plastic posts that we use here. It's just solid stuff. And it's not just course tape, it's rope behind the course tape. So you do not want to run into the posts or the course tape.
No cutting the course?
No cutting the course, no like swinging wide and say, oh, I'll just sort of push the course tape out of my way. Or just run through it and let it break, because it won't.
That's because there was a pro event?
Yeah, but the local races did this too, when in open areas. And it's augered into the ground with a power auger, And that post is not moving. You could run into it full steam and you would break your body or your bike. Same with like trees right in the course. And they padded the tree with tape, so that was nice.
Look at the moss on the trees.
The birds look kind of fun.
Yeah.
Looks photoshopped.
Full safety crew again.
So I just got trees in the middle of the bush.
Freeze.
These guys, you know, there was probably, at a big race like this, there's multiple vendors, fully pro like this. We would always get freaks every race. Here's our buddy Skylar from Fort Collins, the junior rider who's racing tomorrow in the World Championships in over there. And he did the junior race this day. Here's Jamie Driscoll from Vermont.
Dude, is he top pro with the nose thing going on or what?
I think that's just the lighting.
Just checking.
Here's Troy Wells from Durango, Todd Wells' brother, and he's a pro rider who spent a lot of time in Europe this year. And there's Jeremy Powers from Massachusetts. So there's a lot of Americans there during the Christmas period, which is cool. So on this race, I didn't have any photos of myself racing or whatever. I was second in this event. And the guy that won was Mark Droitz, the world champ. This one was a little trickier because we were racing 1 minute. We started 1 minute behind the younger masters, and we got mixed in with their traffic, and it caused the race to be kind of challenging.
Were you with him at all?
I never was with him because he worked through the lap traffic better and smoother, and I think in part because he knew everybody probably. Yeah. And I had to start at the back again, and it was a much bigger field, and it took me a long time to work to the front. And by the time I did, he was already off the front. And it was even hard to tell who's in your category and who's not. We've all experienced that here in the States when we have to share categories. This is a Flemish stew, a beef stew that's made with beer. The frites. Beef stew, frites, and some leffe.